just some people doing a cover project of Weezer.
Oh.
And it was falsely titled on Weezerpedia.
Hmm.
Today, we were going to talk about Weezer. I have some theories, but first we're going to talk about the rumored albums, the ones that are currently rumored by Weezer, Rivers Cuomo, and other side projects. The first one that almost all the Weezer fans know about, is Black Album. Black Album was, Rivers Cuomo said, May 25th of 2017. And then instead they released those singles that ended up being Pacific Daydream. And then it was restated that it would come out May 14th of this year.
2018.
Yeah, and that has passed. The last thing I heard him say was back in a video from like March, where some guy was talking to Rivers, and he said, "It keeps being in the demo stage, and I don't think it's gonna happen." So there goes the Black Album. Another thing about the Black Album that not many people know, that I have read, is that the songs "Do You Want to Get High," which was put onto the White Album, was from the Black folder that was to be the Black Album in the future.
Right.
And I also recently heard the same thing about the bonus track to the White Album, "I Love the USA."
Oh, okay.
Which makes sense because
that makes sense.
Because he says that it's a darker thing, and there will be some F-bombs and some other bad words. And there's an F-bomb in "I Love the USA," and they put that on the Friendly album, along with all these beach musics.
Yeah.
And so anyway, there's that about the Black Album. Probably not going to happen. And then, though, don't be too disappointed. Actually, you probably will be, based on the pattern. I'll explain that later. But there is still a rumored Weezer album. No title or album artwork or anything have been put out. But they had the singles, 2 covers of Toto, which they've never done a cover on an album. And also...
True. Except, Death to False Metal. If you consider that an album. It's not a studio album, but it had a cover on... Wait. Was that on Death to False Metal, or was that on Pinkerton Deluxe? Or that song,
You can't
what was it?
What was it? I can't think of it either, man.
The Tony Braxton song, Unbreak My Heart.
Oh, that
Which
Unbreak My Heart. I didn't know that was a cover, but that was on Death to False Metal. I don't consider it an album, though.
Yeah, it's...
And also, if I did consider it an album, it would affect the chart that I'll talk about.
True. Yeah.
But anyway, the 2 Toto covers, and then the song that they did for the whatever soundtrack, California Snow.
Yeah, it's like some weird little independent film or something.
Yeah, it's by their record label.
Yeah, when I heard the news about it, I thought it was going to be in some big feature film, but it's some, and it's by, it's Crush Films,
Pictures,
which is their record label.
Is Crush. So they probably are just like, hey, you guys, you're going into the hip hop phase now, and you're not any good. So no, they aren't. Help me! I said the wrong thing. But
no, we know what you mean.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not classic Weezer. It's another thing I want to talk about is the classic Weezer saying that. But so that's a rumored album that I definitely think will end up happening because singles are out and it's rumored and
I just heard the single on the radio.
Oh, you heard it on the radio?
Yep.
So now it's a hit. So
California Snow.
Both of those, Africa and California Snow are both...
Oh, well, yeah, Africa's already a huge hit, but I never expected it to be on an album.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't either. I thought it was just going to be a hit between the two albums, but...
Yeah.
Okay, now, after that, I figure if you're watching this for the Weezer things, you'll also care about Rivers Cuomo. So I'll talk about that one first, before going into other side projects. Is that, a while ago there was Alone 2, and Alone 3, and they were... Oh yeah, and Not Alone.
Oh, yeah.
And they were Rivers Cuomo albums that weren't Weezer. And a lot of it were just songs from Weezer that were in the demo stage or whatever. And there's now not Weezer. Now there's an Alone 4 that is rumored. And I've heard... Rivers Cuomo didn't say anything about what it was going to be. But I've heard that it's going to be like 2012 to 2016.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Which would be good. And then so yeah, that would be cool. And one thing I think about that is, since Black Album was just in the demo stage and I don't think it'll come out, the demos of it probably will be on Alone 4.
True.
And then this thing. The Weezer guitarist, Brian Bell, has a side project, The Relationship. And they put out a single about a year ago. And there's the music video. And since then there's been rumors, maybe even they said that it was going to be an album, but I didn't read that there's going to be a relationship album, which I'm pretty sure will be the second one. It's not a crap song. It's decent.
I don't think I've heard it.
I don't think I've heard it either. No, I heard it. But, so, another thing. We skipped over a Rivers Cuomo thing.
Oh.
Since the release of the second album by Scott and Rivers, the Japanese side project Rivers Cuomo has with Scott Murphy, it's been rumored that they were getting back to do a third one. And he's been going over to Japan and coming back, and I don't know why that means they would have to be recording or anything, but people just take that to mean that. And,
yeah, it's kind of like, why else would he be doing that?
Oh, why else would he go to Japan? It's not like his wife is Japanese. Maybe she has family there.
Yeah. Who goes to Japan and doesn't come back with a record recorded?
He's gotta have another record. I would hate to be Rivers Cuomo. So he's expected to do so much. And then I haven't told you about this, but some guy has a pattern, kind of like the pattern I'm going to talk about, and it's about the drummer Patrick Wilson's side project Special Goodness. Based on the releases that he's had in the past, there is supposed to be a Special Goodness album next year. Which I don't know. I read about the pattern on Weezerpedia, and it didn't seem too trustworthy. I didn't really follow it. So I wouldn't be surprised if this did or didn't come out. But, yeah, there's that. Another...
I don't really like him anyway.
You don't?
I mean, I like him for being in Weezer, but I don't like his band.
I like 12 of their songs.
Yeah.
I like Fatigue from the Bunny record.
I guess I haven't heard all of his stuff,
though. Probably John, man.
I like him as a person, though. He's funny.
Yeah. And he always has his little parts in the Weezer music videos.
Yeah.
And then, what's the other thing I would like to mention? Oh, yes, The Rentals. That was, well, a lot of Weezer fans might not like it for this reason, but in '95, between the Blue Album and Pinkerton, Matt Sharp, the bassist, went and recorded Return of the Rentals, which was a side project album It's like kind of a success. It has the song "Friend of P," which was a radio and TV thing that would be played, and forget when they put out a. Well, anyway, they put out a single about a year ago, and it's been a thing said by Matt Sharp even that there's going to be an album, and so it's expected to be coming out 2019 or the end of this year, like December maybe.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that because I like the rentals.
I'm looking forward to it, but the single I listened to, it like had some parts that I liked.
I really liked it.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, some of it was like there were a lot of people singing. It just kind of sounded like a worship song or something.
Yeah, there were some parts that I didn't like musically, but I really liked.
Let's all get together and worship myself.
Yeah,
that's something Matt Sharp would sing. Yeah, he would sing that. He would sing that.
I liked the idea of the song too. I usually don't care about like the words or the message of the song.
Like the idea to the Weezer song "Back to the Shack." I liked it more than the song itself.
Right. Yeah, I didn't even like the song, but I liked what it was saying, even though it wasn't doing what it was saying, really.
Before we get to talking about the pattern, I think we should talk about, the most recent releases. Maybe even like a review, Yeah. Would you be interested in that?
Sure.
So you heard the Rentals one, and you like that?
I don't know which was their most recent release, but
it was the one I sent to you. Elon.
Oh, you mean the one track? I thought you meant their last album.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, how do you feel about California Snow?
I like it.
You like California Snow?
Yeah. I mean, it's like super, pop.
It's not the kind of music I like to listen to.
Yeah.
I won't say it's bad, but it's just, the whole Pacific Daydream and those two covers of Toto. And actually, I've warmed up to the Toto.
I've warmed up to Africa, not Rosanna. I mean, that was pretty much
that
was a joke.
That was a joke. I mean, not like we're saying that song's a joke.
That's a joke.
I'm just saying,
it literally was a joke.
Yes, he put it out because people wanted him to do an Africa cover.
Yeah.
California Snow and Pacific Daydream isn't the kind of music I listen to. I don't say it's bad. It just doesn't.
That's fair.
Yeah. And people say there's the Weezer sound, which I disagree with that.
I probably would have agreed with that, but I'm starting to see your side.
It's like there's people saying the Weezer sound is like the first 2 or the first 4 albums, and then they brought that back with Everything Will Be Alright in the End and the White Album, but there are only a few things that remind me of each other when it comes to Weezer. There's the Green Album and Maladroit are kind of the same style.
Yeah.
And then Ratitude and Hurley are kind of the same. But I don't think there's one set style for the band.
Yeah, I guess after all this time of trying different things, there really isn't. Even
the demos before and after Blue Album don't sound like Blue Album. So it's not like the Blue Album is even their style.
Yeah.
But, I guess we can talk about the pattern now.
But yeah, maybe people just, the album that they like the most. Like for me, Pinkerton. Yeah. So to me, Weezer's sound is Pinkerton, kind of, But that's not really truth. That's just how I feel,
And I don't get the thing either that people, like every album that comes out, there's a single in almost every album, and people are like, "This is a betrayal."
Yeah.
Like there was Pinkerton in its entirety, and people would back then be like, "This is darker and it's not the same thing that I wanted."
Right.
You can buy a second copy of the Blue Album then.
It's like
right. And then Green Album, when Island in the Sun came out, that got mixed reception too. Is that what I'm thinking of? mixed reception.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, Maladroit, like I said, it's kind of the same sound, so it wasn't like, oh, Dope Nose isn't the Green Album sound that I wanted.
Yeah.
But then when they got back around in 2005 and did Beverly Hills, even though I think that kind of sounds like it, like the older stuff.
Yeah, you know,
they're all like, this sucks. What is this?
I know. When Make Believe came out, that was the first Weezer album that was new to me because I started listening after they had already made Maladroit, and I thought like, this is terrible. Like, at first, you know, and like this is so mainstream poppy crap. And then, but now when I listen to it, I can hear the similarity to like Maladroit in a lot of the songs, and I never thought when I first listened to it that it was anything like Maladroit.
Yeah, it's not like a turnaround away from everything they had done.
Right.
But, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Beverly Hills, like, I don't see what the hate is for the song. It's like, of the album, it's like one of the 3 most previous Weezer-like songs, so why not hate on, like, one of the other ones? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess it's just because it was a hit.
I think because it was a hit, and it was mainstream, and I think maybe, at least for me, and probably a lot of other people, like, the words themselves, like, Beverly Hills.
Yeah,
like,
that's kind of about the popularity.
Yeah, like, that's not a Weezer thing.
Kind of about being big.
Sing about, you know, but I think it wasn't meant to be taken so literally.
I think it was just supposed to be goofy, which is what they were doing. They're just like a goofier band most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, Pinkerton has some serious. It's pretty serious, most of it, but even it has some goofy stuff.
Yeah.
El Scorcho.
Right.
Ay caramba. It's.
I'll bring home the turkey if you bring home the bacon.
Yeah. Everyone's a little queer. Why can't you be a little straight?
Right. If I'm a dog, then you're a bitch.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But, yeah, I don't think they have a set style. And if they do even have a set style, I think it would be the 2000 to 2002 stuff.
Yeah.
Which most people would disagree with. But that's when they had the most amount of songs that were the same kind of sound. They had like 100 or maybe even over 100 songs. And it's all either along the style of Island in the Sun, Don't Let Go, or Hash Pipe.
Yeah.
So you think we should get on to the...
Yeah, we probably should get on to the pattern.
So this pattern I had thought of, which a lot of people would probably disagree with, but I think I should tell anyway. It's a decent pattern. There were 4 albums that appeal to me. The Blue Album, Pinkerton, Green Album, Maladroit. And then 4 that don't so much. The Make Believe, Red Album, Ratitude, Hurley. Then there are 2 that appeal to me very much, which are Everything Will Be Alright in the End and the White Album. And then there's Pacific Daydream, which to me has the least appeal of any of them so far. And so it's 4, 4, 2, 1. I think there's going to be another album.
Isn't it 4, 4, 2, 2?
That's what I think the pattern will be.
Okay, you just said 4, 4, 2, 1.
4, 4, 2, and then just 1 is what it is so far. Because it's just Pacific Daydream.
Oh, okay.
But I think the next album is going to be like with those 2 Toto covers, which I like one of them. And then with the California Snow, which doesn't really appeal to me either. And I think that there's going to be a pattern of the 4, 4, 2, 2, 4, 4, 2, 2. And oh yeah, and there's more to the pattern also. It's that Blue Album was 94. And then Pinkerton was 96. So it's the 4 and the 6. And then Everything Will Be Alright in the End was 2014, which is 4. And then the White Album is 2016, which is 6. And then Green Album and Maladroit were 2001 and 2002. So I think the next albums that will appeal to me will be coming out in like 2021 and 2022.
Yeah.
Or also, another thing is that there are sets of years that most appeal to me, which is also interesting, is that they're all 3 years.
Right.
And it would be 94 to 96. And then 2000 to 2002. Then 2014 to 2016. So maybe like 2020 to 2022. And then the pattern, if that followed up, this would be a definite pattern. Like, I would just know, I'll just wait until, you know.
Yeah, don't even.
I'll just wait until 2024 for another album that appeals to me, because I know that they're doing a pattern like this on purpose.
Yeah, and then they'll release a couple albums in between, and just completely disregard them. But really, they'll be the best Weezer albums ever. And you'll miss
I don't
out.
want to think about that. I just want this pattern to be right because I thought of it. So, all that. One other thing I wanted to tell you people watching this about Weezer that
Wait for it.
I think Return of the Rentals is just as much Weezer, just as much original Weezer as Pinkerton is. That'll really make some people angry if they just hear that. But let me explain this.
Yeah, you're gonna
original
explain that.
Original Weezer is even prior to the Blue Album. It is Rivers Cuomo, Jason Cropper, and Matt Sharp, Patrick Wilson. And then, so, Return of the Rentals. Return of the Wintles. Return of the Lentils. A horror film. No, Return of the Rentals has 3 original members. It has Matt Sharp as the main guy, Patrick Wilson on drums, and Jason Cropper has to do with it too. I'm not sure, he probably plays guitar with some of it. I don't know. And then Pinkerton is 3 of the original members of Weezer. It is Matt Sharp, Brian Bell, Rivers Cuomo. So it's, I don't know. Like you said, Rivers Cuomo is like the front man though, so maybe that just kind of knocks it out.
Yeah, to me, like, Rivers Cuomo is pretty much like 98% of Weezer.
Yeah.
But
he even writes a lot of the instrumental too.
Yeah. But that could just be me.
I mean, when it comes to how important the people are to Weezer, Rivers Cuomo is number 1 important. So, I guess it isn't really. But then on the other side, it's 3 people from Weezer and 3 people from Weezer.
Yeah.
On 2 different band-titled albums. So if you just look at it that way, it's like, aren't they the same? Aren't they the same band? So I guess that's it for the video. Well, till next time. Peace. Love is the answer.